Hello, writers. Today I'm going to give you another tool for your writing toolbox, some words that you can use to move your story along. These words are called transition words, and we're going to use some simple transition words to move our stories along today. See if you can do it too. So, here are some words we can add to our stories to make it progress from the beginning to the end in a logical order. Here we go. One of our words we can use for our stories is first. First this, then that, next this happened, and last that happened. So we could use those transition words for a story about going on a scooter ride. So we could say, Yahoo! I'm off on my scooter. First, I tie my shoelaces tight. Then I open the garage and get my scooter out. Next, I lift up my shiny black helmet and I put it on my head. Last, I step onto my scooter and I use my right foot to scoot like mad. Riding a scooter is a blast. You could also use these words for a story about going to the swimming pool. Here we go. Going to a swimming pool is so much fun. Have you ever been? First, you drive to the pool. Then you put your toe in to see how cold the water is. Next, you don't even care if the water is cold. You dive right in. Last, you laugh and play in the sparkling blue water. So you can use these transition words to move a personal narrative along, or a story where it's giving instructions as to how something's done. You could also use these words, first, then, next, and last, to make up a story of your own. And I found these Tell Me a Story fairy tale cards, and I thought, oh, these would be really fun to write a story with transitions. So here's some images that might give you some ideas for a story that you would want to write. A cave and a house up in the distance. A castle. Now, to me, this looks like a little teeny tiny castle. That might make for a very interesting story. Perhaps you've shrunk down. A bubbling pot of some magical potion. I wonder what that potion is for. A princess escaping down a trellis, or perhaps she's climbing up a trellis and she's looking down and we don't know what's below her. A frog with a crown on its head. A beautiful queen. And what's in her hands? I can't tell. Maybe that would make for an excellent story. A dark and stormy night. That would be a wonderful setting for something eerie or spooky. A huge diamond ring. What could that be? Well, I picked some cards out of this deck. Let me arrange my deck here so it doesn't fall onto the ground. Okay. I chose some images from the deck, and I am going to write a first, then, next, last story with them out loud. Because writing is thinking, but writing it down on paper, right? So think the story, and then you can write it. And think about how you might incorporate first, then, next, and last into your written work today. Okay, let's start with this. Oh, let me take a look at these 4 cards and see how I could tell a story. Okay. Once there was a cunning cat who loved nothing better than to eat any mouse he saw. First, he spied out of the corner of his eye a poor helpless mommy mouse and her baby mouse. Then the mice became very scared, and they called out to their fairy godmother, "Please, please, transition us, save us from the cat. Perhaps you can change us, or perhaps you can change the cat. Is there anything to do you can do, fairy godmother?" Next, the fairy godmother used her magical wand and she transformed the cat into a whale in the ocean where that cat could never bother the mice again. And the mice lived happily ever after. Here's another story. This story is about finding magical mushrooms in the garden. Those look very unusual. Okay, let's start off with the first. Oh, you know what? Let's have an opening sentence to begin. So I might begin it with a wow word, like, whoa, what's down there on the ground? First, I got down on my hands and knees and I looked closely at these unusual mushrooms growing in my garden. Then, as I reached into the patch of mushrooms, I saw a golden key gleaming. I looked around and thought, what could this key belong to? Next, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a teensy tiny door at the bottom of the wall in my garden. I had never seen that door before. I put the golden key into the lock and opened the door, and I was startled by a fierce little dragon living behind the door. Last, I slammed the door and threw the key. I never found that key again, and the door disappeared back into the wall. It was a very strange day. So think about how you might want to use the words first, then, next, and last. You could tell a story about something that you did, a place that you went, or you could make up a story. See if those words will help you. I look forward to seeing you writing. Happy writing. Bye.